Russian warships and a nuclear-powered submarine en route to Cuba performed military drills in the Atlantic. Not to worry, though, it's an expected show of force from Moscow amid its war in Ukraine. Russia's Ministry of Defense says the Admiral Gorshkov frigate and Kazan nuclear-powered submarine performed simulated missile strikes on targets hundreds of miles away. The Admiral Gorshkov previously deployed with Zircon hypersonic missiles, but not this time. The Russian strike group is now docked in Cuba, just 100 miles south of Florida's Key West, where it's expected to perform more naval drills. The exercises are the first Russian joint air and naval maneuvers in the Caribbean since 2019. Cuba says the visits are common practice for countries friendly with Havana, adding the Russian ships carry no nuclear weapons and present no threat to the region. The White House called the drills a clear representation of Moscow's displeasure with U.S. support of Ukraine, but no one in the Biden administration is sounding the alarm with the military posturing either, saying we don't expect any imminent threat or any threat at all to our national security. Russia's worldwide power projection tour is expected to continue into the summer with a global Russian naval exercise this fall. While it was expected, the U.S. is still closely monitoring the Russian activity. Half a dozen P-8A Poseidons, also called submarine hunters, converged on the Russian flotilla as it sailed past the east coast. 2 American destroyers and some accompanying ships shadowed the Russian submarine. Another U.S. Navy destroyer and a U.S. Coast Guard cutter followed the 3 Russian surface vessels. The Russian fleet sailing through Western waters did create a stir for some vacationers. Cruise ship passengers snapped pics of the warships and submarine just 90 miles off the U.S. coast. Russia's drills are taking place at the same time as NATO nations are conducting Baltops 2024, an exercise hailed as the premier amphibious and naval maneuver drill in the Baltics. New NATO member Sweden is also taking part in the 53rd iteration of the enormous drills. For more on Russia's military posturing and the war in Ukraine, head on over to san.com or download our Straight Arrow News app. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Ryan Robertson.